Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Molly. It's nice to see ya. In today's video, I got my first tattoo. I take you through the experience of getting that tattoo, and at the end, at this timestamp, I'm gonna tell you all the juicy questions about getting your first tattoo. The first night that I had my tattoo, I did Google what to do if you got a bad tattoo. So I am now here. All the worry that I've kind of been suppressing all day, I can feel it trying to encroach onto me right now. It is currently 20 minutes to my appointment. Ugh. Let me give a little backstory here. I am here alone. One of the safety precautions they're taking, you can't bring anyone extra in with you to limit the amount of people in the room, which is totally fair and understandable. I'm almost certain that if you would have asked anyone I went to high school with, or literally anyone who knows me, the fact that I'm even getting a tattoo is probably a little shocking. A lot of people I think are gonna think it's kind of weird that I asked if I could film my tattoo experience, and I don't care. This whole channel is for me to document my life, and this is a very big moment in my life. And for some people it might not be, who have got tattoos and stuff before, so I don't really know what to expect at all. It doesn't even psych me out that it's on my body forever. Everyone's like, you're gonna regret it. When I'm 70 years old, if a tattoo is the only thing that I regret about my body, I am doing something right. All these kind of things are just a really cool way of expression and showcasing you and your story. It's not gonna affect anyone else. It's on my body. I'm actually about to go do this. I'm probably gonna go in like 10 minutes early, which is about now. I'm gonna talk more about the symbolism of the actual tattoo at the end of this video, but if I keep rambling, I will not go in there, and I need to go in there.
So once we got in the actual tattoo parlor, she asked me where I wanted it. I made her replace it twice, so I had it a total of 3 times because I was indecisive, but she basically cleaned it with a solution and then shaved it, and having someone else shave my back was definitely the weirdest part of the whole experience. She drew some lines to make sure it's accurate and had me double check it again before we got started. She said that for this tattoo, I was gonna sit with my head bowed down. Alright, so this is it, the first time the needle touched me, and you can see by my face that it was immediately not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And then I proceeded to sit like this, completely zoned out for 25 minutes. I definitely made it out to be worse in my head.
I love it, thank you, it's so cool. This is such a small town thing to say. I walked out and I was looking at all the city lights around me. I just stood in the parking lot and said to myself, I just got a f***ing tattoo. I can't even believe I did that. I'm so proud of myself. I don't want to sound dramatic or anything, but it was life-changing. I literally feel like I could conquer the world right now. I feel invincible. I don't remember what it looks like. She did show me, but I forgot. It is just over a week later since I got my first tattoo. I know that I clickbaited the thumbnail a little bit, and that's not entirely a lie. We're gonna get into all that. So first thing I want to discuss is pain level. I think I have a moderate pain tolerance. It's not super high, it's not super low, it's just kind of average. I would give this like a 2 out of 10. You know how people used to how people used to open safety pins and like put them through their fingers, like the first layer of their skin and stuff? I never did that because I thought it was gross, but people did it. I didn't think it really hurt at all, and I was really able to zone out. You sit through a little bit of pain and then it's over. That being said, I got a relatively small tattoo. It took about 25 to 30 minutes for the actual tattoo process. If you can see the rainbows, there's like a crystal in the window and I can see it on my eye every so often, so I apologize if that's distracting. After I left the tattoo parlor, that feeling was really unmatched. I really felt invincible. I felt like I was so much closer to being able to achieve the goals in my life that scare me, because I'd already done one like this and it was not the end of the world. For me and my personal experience, the aftercare tends to be pretty chill. They also say that you might have to push out like excess fluid from below the band-aid. I didn't have any of that, and even if I did, I wouldn't have been able to really see that I had excess fluid in there. It hasn't started scabbing, which it's supposed to, or getting like really itchy when you're supposed to put a little bit of moisturizer on it. Because I can't see it, it's almost like an out of sight, out of mind thing. If I'm not constantly thinking about it, it's not bothering me. It took me 2 days to get the medical tape off because I couldn't see it, but I had no pain in doing that, no discomfort. So far we're just kind of straight vibing, which I appreciate. Not being able to look at it constantly and overanalyze it has been really beneficial for me. Talking about cost, I paid a lot for my tattoo in comparison to a lot of people, especially based on the size. The place that I went is one of the most expensive yet most well regarded in the city. I was willing to pay that extra money. I spent $126 Canadian on this. For reference, that's fairly expensive for such a small tattoo. It's a lot of money. This is on my body forever. I was willing to think of this tattoo as an investment. Maybe I would go somewhere else where it is a little more affordable now I know the process and depending on the complexity of the tattoo. Okay, it's time. Let's talk regrets. Beforehand, I should have done more research onto where I wanted it. I just kind of thought I would be able to visualize it. This also came out a little bit bigger than I wanted it because I'm not great at dimensions. So I was like, I don't know, like an inch by an inch. I did not really consider being able to see it over certain clothing. So in hindsight, that's definitely something I think I could have thought through a little bit more. If I let my anxiety rise, I didn't know what was gonna happen. So I had to suppress the anxiety by just saying, this is the end point, this is what we're getting to. And all those little details that built up to it were kind of stressors for me, so I was just ignoring them. I would suggest not ignoring them. As for my actual tattoos, as far as regrets go, you'll hear in the video that I said, thank you, I love it, and it sounded kind of forced. It was. Everyone says, I'm obsessed with it, I love it, I can't stop looking at it, I'm so glad I did it. And when I got it, I was just kind of like, I mean, I did it. I hit that end goal that I said I was gonna hit, and now what? I just freaked out a little bit because I didn't love it. It wasn't consuming my every thought all day, every day, how much I was obsessed. So that stressed me out a little bit. I had one of those moments where I looked at it in the mirror the next morning. I just had that sense of dread for the fact I did something and I didn't think it through, and it was something that I couldn't undo. I didn't regret the action of getting the tattoo. I think I more so regretted the tattoo that I chose to get. The first night that I had my tattoo, I did Google what to do if you got a bad tattoo. People were saying you could do cover-ups, but I already thought this tattoo was too big. It was bigger than I intended when I was like visualizing it. What was really comforting to me, if I needed to wear something where you couldn't see it, grab a full coverage foundation and I can cover that up. To sum up, I did regret it at first, but I no longer regret the tattoo. The mistakes that I made were mistakes that I made. I now have learned from those, and they're not regrets that are gonna weigh me down for the rest of my life. They didn't affect the overall tattoo so much that I think it's ruined my life. I like my tattoo. I'm proud of myself for getting it. This experience has not at all tainted my idea of getting future tattoos. If anything, it has brought me more comfort about getting a future tattoo because I now know the process. I kind of understand the pain. I get that's not the most painful spot that it can be, and my ribs would hurt a lot more. Talking about the significance of this tattoo, and when people say like, think of your happy place, my happy place, either Disney World because, you know, you feel like a kid, or obviously the beach overlooking the ocean. Anything that gave you the H2O just add water vibes or the aquamarine vibes, that was my favorite. A lot of people view sunsets as a fresh start, like the sun will rise tomorrow. I love the colors. Watching the sunset has always been a main character moment of mine. It's a constant reminder that there's so much beauty in the world, and everything that I want to see and I want to achieve can kind of be brought into that one idea. There's beauty in the world if you know where to look for it. And I won't have to look very far because it's on my body. And I'm hoping that this tattoo just kind of sums up this period in my life, late teens, early 20s, and I'm hoping to spend so much of that doing what I love and traveling and being on the beach and watching the sunsets and finding the joy in the simple things in life. So I'm getting a little corny here, so I'm gonna stop talking. If there's any questions that you have before you get your first tattoo, leave them down below. I'm sure I've forgotten something and I'll be sure to answer your questions. So that is my first tattoo experience, and I'm really glad that I got to document it on here. That's it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for all the upcoming holiday content. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Like, what do you care if I get a bad tattoo? Which I'm not. We're not putting that out in the universe. This is a good tattoo. Yeah, I feel like the clouds look like little like steam coming out of my ears here. Is anyone else seeing that, or am I overanalyzing this? I'm gonna show you a photo of the tattoo that I'm getting. Oh my god, I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth. Most people don't just get something random. I mean, mad respect if you do. You have a lot more courage than I do in that situation.
Wear you like a tattoo on my heart, hanging like a broken work of art. Used to be love time until you fucked time. Now I'm just a rose inside the dark.